Brain Basics 7 Steps to a Better Brain. Step number 1, Food for Thought. You are what you eat, and that includes your brain. Of course, food powers your body and fuels your brain, so whatever you eat and drink will affect your physical and mental well being in some way. If you don't eat properly, your brain can begin to function less efficiently, resulting in foggy thinking, poor concentration, and forgetfulness. Your brain is an amazing instrument of cognition, thinking, emotion, and intuition. It's also the greediest organ in your body, requiring a constant supply of glucose, energy, oxygen, and other nutrients. So what is the ultimate super brain diet? What every brain needs. Even if your diet has been less than optimum in the past, it's never too late to boost your brain power with healthy eating. Above all, your brain needs glucose, but the supply needs to be a steady one. That means eating starchy carbohydrates such as bread, pasta, rice, and potatoes that release glucose energy into the bloodstream at a constant rate. Simple sugars from candy, cake, cookies, and chocolate release too much energy too quickly, resulting in an energy surge. A sugar high makes you feel hyperactive. This is rapidly followed by an energy slump, leaving you feeling tired and lethargic. Skipping meals is a bad idea too, because if there's too little glucose energy in your bloodstream, you will feel sluggish and find it hard to concentrate. If you want to avoid stressing your brain with too much or too little sugar, make sure you always eat breakfast. Many studies have shown that breakfast is good news if you want to keep your brain active and functioning efficiently. Your brain never rests. Even when you are asleep, think how active it must be during your dreams, so that energy needs to be replaced when you wake up. Eating breakfast is the best way to replenish fuel stores and prevent mental meltdown later in the morning. So breakfast has got you off to a good start. Now you have to maintain your energy levels throughout the day. The best way to do this is to eat 6 small balanced nutritious meals spread throughout the day, and make sure each of them contains some high quality protein and a little unsaturated fat, a sprinkling of nuts and seeds. For example, by eating little and often, you consume less overall, yet keep your blood sugar on an even keel. That is better than having 2 or 3 large meals a day, which can lead to big energy swings and excess intakes of calories. But it isn't just a matter of getting a steady intake of energy every couple of hours. For optimal brain function, you also need to pay attention to the types of foods you are actually putting into your mouth. Fasting. In most religions around the world, periods of fasting or cutting down on food are intrinsically a part of the religious calendar. Last year, I fasted for a short period of time at a health clinic and was amazed to find I wasn't at all hungry, but more interestingly, how my mind seemed to be freeing itself. Over a matter of days, I was able to cope with busyness problems and deeper decisions that I had been struggling with for many months. Somehow, it was like fasting had broken down shackles inside my head. I loved the sensation. It became serenely obvious to me that fasting had been introduced into religions for precisely this clarity of mind, so that faith may be followed more resolutely, but a powerful natural tool. How to feed your brain. In general, you are better off eating carbohydrates that are fresh and unprocessed, such as vegetables, fruits, whole grains, whole wheat pasta, brown rice, nuts, seeds and pulses, beans and peas, rather than heavily processed foods such as white bread, white rice, fries, and pre-packaged meals. This is because fresh, unprocessed foods are broken down in the body at a steady rate, thereby giving your brain a steady supply of sugar. They also contain the all-important vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients so often lost during processing. Aim for 1/3 of your daily food intake to be made up of unprocessed, starchy carbohydrates. Proteins are important too. They provide the building blocks called amino acids that are needed to maintain and repair all the body's tissues, including the brain. In particular, they provide the essential amino acids including tryptophan, from which brain chemicals or neurotransmitters such as serotonin are made. Protein foods also help control the release of sugar into your bloodstream. To ensure that you obtain the full range of essential amino acids you need, try to include a wide range of quality protein into your diet, in the form of low-fat cheese, low-fat milk, low-fat yogurt, lean meat and poultry, fish, eggs, soy products such as tofu, lentils, whole grain cereals, nuts, and seeds. If you prefer not to eat animal sources of protein such as meat, fish, and eggs, you can still get all the essential amino acids you need from plant-based foods. But you must make sure that you eat the widest possible range of vegetable protein sources, including peas, beans, lentils, grains, nuts, and seeds. Other good sources of vegetable protein include quinoa, soy products, buckwheat, millet, and wild rice. When it comes to dairy and meat products, always opt for lean, low-fat products and limit your intake of saturated fats found in red meat, full-fat dairy products, and refined processed foods. High in palm oil, don't cut out fats and oil altogether, though, because your brain cells and other cells of the nervous system, including the retina in your eye, require very specialized types. In particular, long-chain omega-3 essential fatty acids found in oily fish such as sardines and mackerel, as well as walnuts and green leafy vegetables. Brain boosting vitamins and minerals. B vitamins are brain vitamins. Most B vitamins, including folic acid and some minerals, are essential for nerve cells and a healthy brain. In particular, they are needed for the repair and maintenance of neurons and nerve connections, for creating nerve signals, and for the production of neurotransmitters. Here are the key players. Vitamin B1, thiamine, is contained in whole grains and enriched grain products such as whole grain bread, rice, pasta, and fortified cereals, as well as fresh and dried food, milk, cheese, and eggs. Vitamin B5, pantothenic acid, is in lean meat, poultry, eggs, whole grain cereals, pulses, broccoli, tomatoes, and fruit. Vitamin B6, pyridoxine, can be found in chicken, fish, liver, kidney, and eggs, as well as whole grain cereals, nuts, and legumes. Vitamin B12 is in eggs, meat, fish, poultry, and low-fat dairy products. Folic acid or folate, also known as vitamin B9, is found in bananas, orange juice, fortified cereals, lemons, strawberries, cantaloupe, leafy vegetables, dried beans, and peas. Iron is found in lean beef, whole grain breads, raisins, dried apricots, legumes, and low-fat bran muffins. Iron deficiency is especially common in women due to the loss of blood during menstruation and can result in tiredness, poor concentration, and lethargy. Calcium is in leafy green vegetables, low-fat dairy products, soy products, fish with bones such as sardines, nuts, and seeds. Women on a quest to avoid the fat and calcium-enriched dairy products are often deficient in this crucial mineral. Magnesium is found in whole grains, legumes, nuts, and green vegetables. Potassium is found in apricots, avocados, bananas, grapefruit, kiwi, oranges, prunes, strawberries, potatoes, lean meat, and fish. Zinc is found in beans and lentils, yeast, nuts, seeds, and whole grain cereals. Water is vital for a healthy brain. That's why you get headaches and can't concentrate properly if you are dehydrated. The solution: make sure you drink around 8 glasses of fluids a day to stay hydrated. More on hot days or if you have been exercising. Pure water is the best drink to have. One way to ensure you are drinking enough is to fill a pitcher or bottle with your targeted amount and drink it throughout the day. If the container is empty by bedtime, you will know you have achieved your goal. Don't wait until you are thirsty to drink, as thirst is a sign that you are already becoming dehydrated. A-grade antioxidants, brain protectors. Antioxidants are substances found in food that help protect the brain and so help maintain healthy brain function, including memory. In particular, antioxidants neutralize free radicals, the highly damaging molecules produced naturally in the body and also generated by smoking, pollution, and sunlight that can otherwise attack neurons and other nerve cells. So it's worth making sure you are getting enough A-grade antioxidants in your diet. Ideally, fruit and vegetables should make up 1/3 of your total food intake each day. If so, and you are eating at least the recommended 5 different types of vegetables and fruit a day, as well as whole grains and other fresh food, your antioxidant intake is likely to be high. The following are good sources of antioxidants. Beta-carotene is found in orange and yellow fruits and vegetables such as carrots and pumpkins. Getting enough beta-carotene means eating a well-rounded diet according to the guidelines in this chapter, which lots of fruits and vegetables. Brightly colored fruits and vegetables have especially high level of beta-carotene. They include sweet potato, carrots, green vegetables, apricots, bell peppers, corn, broccoli, mango, and squash. Vitamin C is found in citrus fruits such as oranges and in strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, sweet potatoes, green and red peppers, and green leafy vegetables such as broccoli and cauliflower. If you make sure you eat at least 5 servings of brightly colored fruits and vegetables a day, you should be getting sufficient vitamin C. Vitamin E is found in nuts, seeds, vegetable oils, whole grains, and oily fish. If you are eating plenty of whole grains every day and snacking between meals on a handful of nuts and seeds, your vitamin E intake should be fine. Selenium is found in Brazil nuts, cereals, seafood, and eggs. If you include some whole grains, fish, and/or Brazil nuts daily, you should be able to get all the selenium you need from your diet. Zinc is found in fish, legumes, and almonds. Most people can get enough zinc in their diet by eating a variety of foods each day, including lean meat, fish, and poultry. Vegetarians can get zinc when they eat legumes such as fresh and dried peas and beans, soy products, lentils, and chickpeas used to make hummus. Digestive health. Keeping regular by maintaining healthy bowel function is important too. Sluggish digestive transit can lead to headaches, fatigue, and low libido. That's why fiber should be nominated as the unsung brain food hero. If you are eating at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, you are well on your way toward your optimal fiber intake. You can get the rest from high fiber foods such as whole grain cereals, nuts, and seeds. Top 10 brain foods. The following foods not only make a delicious addition to any diet, they are also packed with nutrients that are especially brain friendly. Blueberries are bursting with antioxidants and phytochemicals, plant nutrients that help sharpen your brain. Leafy greens such as spinach and broccoli contain folic acid and vitamin B6, which help convert tryptophan into serotonin, a brain chemical that boosts your mood and alertness and also plays a role in controlling sleep cycles. Oily fish are full of omega-3 fatty acids for healthy brain cells and nerves. So grandma was right, oily fish is brain food. Good sources are the cold water fish, mackerel, salmon, herrings, and sardines. Good sources of omega-3 for vegetarians include pumpkin seeds and walnuts. Grape juice is rich in brain-protecting antioxidants, making it the smarter beverage choice. Brown rice, like all whole grain foods, is one of the best things you can eat to improve your intake of brain-boosting nutrients. It's packed with the protein, vitamins, and minerals your brain loves. Cranberries are not only tasty berries, but also bursting with antioxidants, which means they are particularly good for the brain. Turmeric, the spice that gives curry its yellow color and distinctive flavor, is high in antioxidants and can help protect the brain against mental decline. Olive oil is rich in vitamin E, an important antioxidant for healthy brain function. The extra virgin variety is best because the oil is produced naturally without chemical treatment. Garlic is a powerful antioxidant that can also help shake off stress-induced cold and infections. Raw crushed garlic is best. Cooked garlic is less powerful but still enhances blood circulation in the brain. Cocoa is well known as a great bedtime drink that helps you get all the sleep you need to recharge your brain. Now it seems cocoa can help your brain in other ways too. Research has shown that there is almost twice as much antioxidant content in 2 tablespoons of pure cocoa powder as in the equivalent amount of red wine, up to 3 times more than green tea and 4 times more than black tea. Brain bandits. Just as some foods are brain boosters, other foods can rob the brain of healthy brain function and even cause lasting damage. Sea-sowing sugary foods. Sucrose, table sugar, and fructose, and processed flour products found in cookies, cake, candy, sauces, and fast foods cause wild fluctuations in blood sugar. They leave you feeling fidgety, irritable, inattentive, and even sleepy, not an ideal state for efficient brain function. Excess consumption of sugar and processed flour have also been implicated in diabetes, obesity, heart disease, and cancer, so it makes sense to cut back on them as much as possible. Blood blockers. Trans fatty acids and saturated fats found in foods such as cookies, potato chips, fries, and pastries, and full-fat dairy and fatty meat products can clog your arteries and disrupt the flow of blood, oxygen, and nutrients to the brain. They are also implicated in type 2 diabetes and obesity, so it is smart to consume saturated fats in moderation only and avoid trans fats together. Silent assassins. Although the odd glass or two won't hurt and may actually benefit your brain, too much alcohol can destroy brain cells. So if you want to stay mentally sharp, limit your intake to 1, possibly 2 glasses of wine, beer, or spirits a day tops. It's also smart to give your body a break of 1 or 2 days, at least a month, so that your liver and brain can get a chance to recover. Nicotine causes constriction of blood vessels, which restricts blood flow to your brain, so smoking isn't advised if you want to boost your brain power. Too much salt, sodium isn't good news either, as it increases the risk of high blood pressure. As far as caffeine is concerned, 1 or 2 cups of coffee a day seem to have a stimulating effect on your brain, but if you drink more than that, you are asking for trouble, as it decreases blood flow to your brain significantly. Toxic triggers is also a good idea to avoid as many man-made chemicals as possible. Research suggests that many chemicals commonly used in food, additives such as coloring, flavoring, and preservatives in your house, cleaning products, and garden pesticides and herbicides can hinder optimum brain function. If you want to increase your brain power, you should be smart enough to opt for natural, preferably organic food, and limit the amount of chemicals you use in the garden and home. Supplements. Dietitians believe that in most cases, if you eat a balanced diet, you shouldn't need supplements. But it's sometimes tricky to maintain perfect balance in your meals. Women of childbearing age are advised to take a folic acid supplement, and elderly people certainly benefit from supplements, such as insurance policy. I think it is a good idea for most people to take a comprehensive multivitamin and mineral supplement. Studies suggest the brain can benefit from long-term vitamins and mineral supplementation. If you can't manage to eat oily fish twice a week, then supplementing with a good quality fish oil that is high in omega-3 fatty acids will ensure a steady and adequate supply for your ever-hungry brain. We all take fish oil supplements in our house. I've seen the difference it has had on my young children and have now read the scientific research conducted around the world showing the benefits of a daily intake of fish oils on young minds. When it comes to herbal supplements, ginkgo biloba stands head and shoulders above the rest. More evidence exists for the beneficial effect of ginkgo on mental function than for any other herb. It is said to improve memory, boost concentration, and sharpen mental focus in people of all ages. As with all supplements, follow the instructions on the packet and never exceed the stated dose. Warning: if you are receiving prescription medication, always check with your doctor or pharmacist before taking herbal supplements. Some herbal supplements can interfere with medications, either reducing their effectiveness or causing serious side effects. The 10 Golden Rules of Smart Eating. 1. Eat breakfast every day. 2. Don't leave more than 3 hours between meals or snacks. 3. Eat quality protein with each meal. 4. Make sure a third of your diet is fruits and vegetables. 5. Eat at least 5 different types of fruits and vegetables a day. 6. Eat oily fish 2 or 3 times a week. 7. Make sure 1/3 of your diet is starchy foods. 8. Go for whole grains and fresh, preferably organic foods. 9. Drink enough water to keep yourself fully hydrated. 10. Enjoy the old glass of red wine, cup of coffee, or a bar of chocolate. Step number 2. Memory marvels. Mind like a sieve? Don't worry. There is a lot more to memory than just remembering, and a lot you can do to boost your memory. Many people assume that forgetfulness and mental decline are an inevitable part of aging, but this isn't the case. Memory lapses can occur at any age. You just start noticing them and worrying about them more when you are older. Children are incredibly forgetful, and so are young adults. Take a look at the lost and found counter at any busy railway station or airport. Your memory is probably a lot better than you think it is, and with a little training, you have the ability to make it sharper and keep it that way. Whether you are young or old, the more you can use your brain, the better it works. You are never too old to learn and relearn, and that can happen at any stage of life, even into old age. Exercising your brain is the key to keeping your memory intact. IQ tests handled with care. An intelligence test is designed to test your mental ability. An IQ or intelligence quotient is a number set to express relative intelligence. It is determined by dividing your mental age, as reflected by your performance on a standard test, by your chronological age and multiplying by 100. An example of the formula is as follows. You are 20 years old, and a standardized IQ test of your logic and reasoning ability puts your mental age at the higher level of 25. Your IQ would be your mental age, 25 divided by your real age, 20 multiplied by 100, which means 125. if you take another IQ test and this time score 130, this doesn't mean you have become smarter. It simply means you perform better on that particular test. So an intelligence test measures your performance on that one test alone, and your performance on one test is a poor guide to your true intelligence. Bear in mind too that there are many kinds of intelligence. Some people consider emotional intelligence to be just as important, if not more so, than logic and reasoning is predicting success and happiness in life. So the message is, don't get hung up on your IQ if you know it, but rather focus on how to use your brain efficiently and what you want to accomplish with it. Introducing your working memory. Until recently, your mental problem-solving ability as measured by IQ tests was thought to be fixed and impossible to change. Exciting new research, however, shows that there is a very basic brain function called working memory, just like you find in a computer. It is thought that working memory is the foundation of your problem-solving ability. And this opens up the intriguing possibility that if your working memory can be trained and improved, you can boost your IQ too. For an example of working memory, consider the following. Imagine you get lost while looking for a town center parking lot. You stop at a service station and the attendant says, take a left turn at the first traffic circle, go for about 3 miles and until you see a set of traffic lights, turn right into Black Street, then go for about 1 mile and you will see the parking lot on your left. Even as you read this, you may be imagining repeating the directions over and over under your breath as you drive to your destination. The type of memory needed to hold such temporary information in your mind while problem solving is called working memory. The amount of information that your working memory can hold is thought to be strongly related to your general intelligence and IQ rating. Although we use our working memory all the time to solve problems, most of us don't use it efficiently. Research has shown, however, that there are techniques you can use to train your working memory, giving results that are both impressive and immediate. Something to jog your memory. Picture this. You are introduced to a class of 30 children. They all sit in a circle and each child tells you their name. 30 minutes later, you are asked to remember their names. Could you do it? Most of us would struggle hopelessly at this, and yet each one of us is probably up to the task. It just needs a little strategy and practice. Many memory strategies, such as acronyms or using melody or rhyme, are based on the technique called mnemonics. This is the principle of associating something complex with something more familiar. If you have worked through the exercises in part 1, you will already have seen several examples of mnemonics. The trick is to make the association as vivid as possible. Practice makes perfect. It's very clear that the more you practice something physically, say learning to drive a manual car, the easier it will become. We all know this is true physically, but it is also true mentally. The ways in which our brain can improve and the speed at which they can generate new pathways is astonishing. Practicing with numbers will still help enormously when we record countdown. We make the TV shows in batches of 10 programs over 2-day periods, 5 shows a day. Sometimes we don't go back into the studio for many weeks for a summer break. At that point, I find I'm a bit rusty at the numbers game, so during the morning and while the letters game are in progress, I practice about 100 number games to get my speed back up to what it should be, and then I'm raring to go. So in this case, practice doesn't seem just make perfect, it helps me to keep my job. Chunking, breaking information into chunks, is a technique often used to remember numbers. Although it can be used for remembering other things as well, it is based on the idea that most people can remember a maximum of between 5 and 9 things at one time. US telephone numbers without the area code contain 7 digits. This is convenient because it is the average amount of numbers that a person can keep in his head at one time. Now that all numbers require you to go also dial the area code, it helps you to break the longer numbers into chunks. So a number that includes the digits 232445961 can be better remembered as 232445961. Visualization can be used as a memory aid. It involves creating a mental image, preferably a ridiculous one, that sticks in your mind. For example, you are going to the supermarket to buy groceries and you need to remember bread, eggs, flour, and orange juice. One way to recall your shopping list is to picture a loaf of bread breaking open with eggs and orange juice spilling out into a bowl of flour. The image is absurd but helps you to remember the individual items. Try to add smells and sound to your visual imagery. We normally gather information using all our senses, and so it is more effective if you can use them all to help you remember smell scrambled eggs on toast, for example, or taste the tang of orange juice, recall the silky sticky feel of flour when it is wet. Another technique is to read it and say it. When trying to remember written text, it often helps you to say words aloud, as hearing the information helps you retain it. For example, if you are giving written instructions or directions, try repeating them to yourself aloud. One theory about why this works is that your right brain is used for visual memory and your left brain is used for verbal memory. So by both looking at and hearing the instructions, your whole brain is being used to remember them. Tried and trusted memory boosters. If you have done all you can to remember things, but your life is so busy that you still find yourself, for example, forgetting where you put your car keys or your glasses, try the following tried and trusted tips. Write it down. Carry a pen and paper with you at all times, and if you need to remember something important, write it down immediately. Sticky notes are great for posting notes on your fridge, computer, and phone, or you could phone home and leave a message on your answering machine. To make a mental image, when you put your mobile phone down or place your keys in a drawer for safekeeping, allow yourself a few moments to make a mental image of the place you left them. It also helps to leave your keys and mobile phone in the same place each time. As an additional safeguard, have copies made of your keys and leave a set with someone you can trust. 3. Numbers. With so many passwords, you remember the D for banks, and to use the computer, it might help to have the same number for all of them. If you are worried that your security may be compromised by just having one number, use some of the mnemonics techniques mentioned above and in part 1 to remember them. Make a list. If you are the kind of person who worries about whether or not you have turned off the lights or the oven or fed the fish, make a list that you can put beside or attach to your exit door. And before you leave, simply scan the list to make sure you have remembered everything and give yourself peace of mind. Save the best to last. We tend to remember the task we find most interesting and to forget the routine and boring tasks. So try to do the mundane things first, or better still right away so that you are less likely to forget to do them, and to save the interesting task for the end. If you want to improve your memory and your ability to learn, you need to exercise it. Exercise it and exercise it more. Working through the exercises in this book will give you all the training you need to brush the cobwebs from your mental bookshelves. Challenge your brain and refresh your memory. Step number 3, the Mozart effect. Music may tune up your thinking, but it is possible to crank up the volume and become a genius. Ever since research first suggested that something as simple as listening to Mozart could boost children's brain power, educators all over the world have linked music making with better language skills, math ability, improved school results, and improvements in problem solving. The Mozart theory have also captured the imagination of the public. Some parents have been snapping up every available copy of the maestro work. Nursery schools have been dutifully playing it to their charges, and some states have ever been sending free Mozart CDs to families with a new baby. The Mozart effect has stimulated an industry, but is there a link between intelligence and music? Why music? What is it about Mozart that seems to jumpstart the brain, especially when it comes to math-related subjects? Experts say it may be because music never stands still. Whether you are playing an instrument or listening to the radio, your brain is constantly being challenged to process and make sense of the tune and rhyme. Music is also thought to stimulate areas of your brain used for other skills such as math, reading, and problem solving. Another reason why Mozart is considered so special is that his music appears to activate both the left and right brain. In most of us, the left side of the brain is logical, rational side of your brain. It deals with letters, numbers, languages, facts, diagrams, dates, and technical information. The right side of the brain deals with creativity, imagery, color, and imagination. The left brain recognizes names, the right brain recognizes faces. Activities that use both sides at the same time are thought to engage the brain's full capacity, and it is this that boosts thinking skills and intelligence. Tuning up. It seems that music lessons might be the key to unlocking mental ability in childhood. In one study, 6-year-old children who were given music lessons showed a significant increase in intelligence tests compared with those who took drama lessons or received no extra instructions. Too stupid to learn, Albert Einstein is recognized as having had one of the greatest intellects on the planet, yet there was no sign of his genius when he was young. His performance at school was very poor. In fact, his teachers told his parents to take him out of school because he was too stupid to learn, and it would be a waste of resources to invest time and energy on his education. The school even suggested that his parents find Albert a simple manual labor job as soon as possible. Instead of following the school's advice, Einstein's mother bought him a violin. Albert loved playing the instrument and played until he was brightly accomplished. Could music have been the key to Einstein's incredible intellect? He certainly thought so, and a friend of his said that Einstein solved many of his most puzzling physics problems and mathematical equations while improvising on the violin. So if you have always wanted to learn to play an instrument or take lessons, there is everything to gain and nothing to lose. You can learn to play a musical instrument by yourself with a helpful instruction manual, but nothing beats interaction with a good music teacher. The piano is probably the best instrument for beginners because unlike many wind or string instruments, you don't have to practice before you even play a note on it. Electronic piano keyboards are relatively cheap and portable, so you don't need to invest in a full-size piano. It might be a good idea to borrow one first to see if this is for you. If you are not keen on the piano, there are many other instruments to consider, such as the drums or guitar. An advantage of playing a wind instrument, such as the recorder, oboe, or trumpet, is that it also helps you improve breath control and increases oxygen supply to the brain. Tuning in, don't worry if you haven't got the time or the inclination to learn a musical instrument. There are plenty of other ways to bring music into your life. For example, first, singing in the shower or car or anywhere you like has mood enhancing qualities. You can often tell that a person is in a good mood if they are humming or singing. Second, toning may fine-tune your brain. The word toning goes back to the 14th century and means to make sounds with elongated vowels for extended periods of time. A, U, E, A, O, and are examples of toning sounds. Saying A immediately feels relaxing. E or A are more stimulating and help with concentration. O or are considered the richest of sounds and can relax muscle tension. Try toning for the 5 minutes every day or 2 weeks to see if it helps you. 3. Humming can help a positive difference too. Mozart hummed as he composed. Children hum when they are happy. Adults often hum tunes that go through their minds, lifting their spirits and fine-tuning their mind. So why not try humming during the day? As the sound activates your brain, you will feel more alive and your brain will be more tuned into the moment. Fourth, try moving on the music. Your brain and body love rhythm. Dancing to your favorite music at home or a disco club or a dance class can be highly invigorating physically, emotionally, and mentally. Fifth, finally, you just enjoy listening to a lot of great music. From country to jazz or from rock to classical, music is one of the true joys of life. Bear in mind though that certain music such as heavy metal, especially if it is played loud, can have a negative effect on the mind, whereas beautiful, soothing melodic music is more likely to make a positive difference to your brain. Whether you believe in the Mozart effect or not, it's impossible to deny the incredible power of music. Music can speed you up and slow you down. Music can make you laugh and make you smile. Music can inspire and music can stimulate. In all these different ways, it is bound to have some beneficial effect on the brain. Step number 4. Deep into sleep. A adequate sleep is crucial to proper brain function, no less so than air, water, and food. Sleep is needed for the repair and maintenance of the brain and for storing the memories and skills we have acquired during the day. So a chronic lack of sleep is highly damaging. Planning, problem solving, learning, concentration, creativity, working memory, and alertness are all affected by lack of sleep, and exam scores plunge. You can learn or concentrate well if you are tired. Insomniacs report memory difficulties, poor performance at school or work, problems concentrating, and have twice as many fatigue-related car accidents as good sleepers. In short, a good night's sleep is essential for healthy brain function. Sleep on it. When you are asleep, your brain processes new memories, practices new skills, and even solves problems. It seems that sleep somehow allows your brain to juggle stored information to produce flashes of creative insight. Paul McCartney heard a haunting melody in one of his dreams, and once he had confirmed that none of his fellow Beatles had ever heard it before, he wrote it down. It became the tune for his famous song Yesterday. So if you want to have a eureka moment, stop racking your brain and get your head down. Time for bed. The body and brain fuel and work so much after a good night's sleep. Sleep is not merely downtime between episodes of being alive. We spend up to a third of our lives asleep, so it's essential for our general health and well-being. There is an overwhelming body of evidence to suggest that lack of sleep may be related to obesity, diabetes, and many other illnesses, as well as to accidents, errors, and generally poor performance. Those who suffer from insomnia find it difficult to get all the sleep they want, no matter how hard they try, but some people choose to cut their sleep time on a regular basis, perhaps by staying up watching a late-night film, chatting with friends, or going out clubbing every night. When you are young especially, it is easy to think that you can make up the sleep you have lost by having an occasional lie-in, but regular sleep deprivation has a cumulative effect on the brain that is not easily reversed. You may feel you have to cut back on sleep, for example, so that you can make an early start at work, but that isn't the way to increase productivity. In fact, it has the opposite effect. So make time for rest and recovery. Getting a good night's sleep is one of the best ways to boost your brain power. How much sleep do I need? Everyone has different sleep needs. Your greatest requirement for sleep is when you are young. Babies and infants spend much of their time asleep. Children and adolescents usually need 8 or more hours a night, but that need steadily decreases as you get older. Until recently, 8 hours sleep a night was regarded as the ideal requirement for all adults. But now, sleep experts say that quality, not quantity, is the key when it comes to nighttime rest and recuperations. 7 hours a night seems to be the most beneficial, but 6 hours of good quality sleep is far better than a restless 8. If any of the descriptions on the list below applies to you, you are probably not getting enough quality sleep. You yawn a lot, you fall asleep during the day, you lack energy, you need caffeine and other stimulants to get you through the day. You have dark circles under your eyes, you find it difficult to wake up in the morning, you find it hard to concentrate on work or school, you get irritable for no reason. How to get good night's sleep? The following tips can help prepare your body so that sleep will come more easily and less likely to be interrupted, and will be more beneficial for your brain. First, boost your levels of serotonin, the hormone that promotes good sleep, and vitamin B6 by eating lean meat, fish, eggs, soy products, spinach, lentils, carrots, sweet potatoes, and low-fat cheese. Second, drink a glass of warm milk, best to make it skim before you sleep to relax yourself. Third, get plenty of exposure to daylight. Light is necessary for serotonin production, so try to get out in the open air every day. Next, eat foods that are rich in calcium, magnesium, and silicon, as they can induce a calming state of mind. Good sources of these minerals include broccoli, parsley, leeks, spinach, almonds, sesame seeds, peas, beans, lentils, brown rice, bananas, and raisins. Next, establish good sleeping habits. That means going to bed at the same time each night, and even more important, getting up at the same time each morning. Set up your alarm for the same time every day, including weekends, to avoid sleeping late, which can disrupt your body clock and make it more difficult to get to sleep. Sound sleep strategies. Develop a relaxation routine that helps you wind down in the hour or so before you go to bed. For example, take a warm bath, perhaps adding some relaxing aromatherapy oil such as lavender or bergamot, or try relaxation techniques such as meditation or yoga. Perhaps you'd prefer to do some gentle stretches, make love, write letters, or update your diary, have a gentle massage, drink some chamomile tea, or sprinkle a few drops of calming lavender essential oil on your pillow, anything that makes you feel relaxed. Try not to overstimulate your body and mind just before bedtime. For example, avoid energetic exercise or exciting books or television shows just before bedtime. Ideally, choose a dull book for your bedtime reading so there is no temptation to stay awake to finish it. If you find you can't sleep, don't stay in bed fretting. Get up and read a book, write a letter, or do something tedious like ironing. Then, when you feel really sleepy, go back to bed. Avoid eating a heavy meal before bedtime. Your body needs to rest, not digest. So ideally finish your main meal before 8 p.m. Avoid stimulants such as caffeine and excess alcohol at least 4 hours before you go to bed, as both cause insomnia and disrupted sleep patterns. Make sure your sleeping conditions are conducive. A good night's rest. If your mattress is uncomfortable, it is worthwhile investing in a new, good quality one. Try to block out as much noise as possible and make sure the room is well ventilated and cool. Around 60 degrees is ideal. Next, keep your curtains closed to block out as much light as you can. The hormone melatonin, which is important for regulating your sleep cycle, is synthesized from serotonin while you sleep, but this process can be inhibited if there is too much light in the room. Try to be in bed before midnight, if possible, or sooner if you have to make an early start in the morning so that you get at least 7 hours sleep and awake feeling refreshed. If you feel like taking a nap during the day, around 15 to 25 minutes is the optimum time to beat fatigue and boost concentration. Any longer than that, and you may find it difficult to go back to sleep at bedtime. An hour or two before you go to bed, write a to-do list for the following day and then set your clothes out for the morning. Knowing that you have sorted out your plans for the day ahead means you can put it out of your mind and relax. Stimulate your brain during the day with plenty of mental activity so that you feel sleepy when you go to bed. Lack of mental stimulation during the day can keep you awake. If you still find it hard to get quality sleep, try not to get anxious or depressed. If you worry about not getting enough sleep, you are more likely to feel stressed, and that can make it even more difficult to get to sleep. It is not harmful to miss one night's sleep, and you are more likely to sleep soundly the next night, especially if you are eating healthily, getting plenty of exercise, and stimulating your mind by reading this book. Sleep strategies for shift workers and those with an unusual schedule. The first tool of a good sleep for those with challenging hours, such as shift workers and new moms, is to keep a regular bed schedule. You need to consider your day's sleep the same way someone else considers their night's sleep. Diet and exercise advice remains the same. Naps can be lifesavers, but if you overdo them, it may be tough to nod off during normal sleeping hours, and you don't want to nap for more than 30 minutes or so at a stretch. If you are a shift worker, you tend to be bombarded by things that night sleepers aren't as concerned with: phone calls, lights, the doorbell, etc. If you work nights, silence the phone during the day if that's practical. Keep the bedroom dark with heavy traps or wear eye shades. Talk to family members about the importance of your sleep and stress that you don't want to be woken up during the day. Keeping your sleeping environment free of sensory input is important. Don't try to totally reverse your schedule on the weekend either, as this will confuse your body clock. You can afford to be more flexible, but try to mimic your workday hours as much as possible. Step number 5, let's get physical. It is well known that physical exercise is great for your appearance and your health. It strengthens your heart, lungs, bones, and muscles and can help ward off a host of evils, including obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. But what many people don't know is that physical exercises can also boost your brain power. Keeping fit is vital for your brain, and it improves blood flow to your brain cells, increasing the supply of oxygen, glucose, energy, and other nutrients to keep it functioning efficiently. Any physical activity that raises the heart and breathing rate is beneficial. Playing sports, cycling, swimming, doing the household chores, walking briskly, climbing stairs instead of using an elevator, mowing the lawn on a regular basis will help keep you both physically and mentally fit. It's never too late to adopt a simple exercise program. Walking at a steady pace for half an hour 3 times a week can improve brain function at any age. Even gentle exercise such as yoga can do wonders for your brain. Brain-saving exercises prescription. Your exercise routine will depend on your general health. If you haven't exercised for a while, are over 40, have high blood pressure, are overweight, pregnant, or suffering from arthritis, diabetes, or other long-term medical conditions, the first step is to ask your doctor for a checkup. When you begin an exercise program, start gently and build up steadily as your body adapts. Avoid high-intensity exercise and aim for a moderate level that you can sustain for at least 15 minutes at a time. You may experience a little discomfort or even mild aching at first, but this should soon pass. If you feel more severe muscle ache, it means you are exercising at too intense a level and you should ease off next time. If you experience sharp pain, fainting, dizziness, shortness of breath, or nausea, stop at once. Wear loose, comfortable clothing and make sure you wear the correct shoes for the activities you plan to do. General purpose sneakers, such as cross trainers, are ideal for the gym or jogging, and sturdy shoes are best for walking. Drink water before, during, and after your workout, even if you don't feel thirsty. Small, regular drinks are best, and have light snacks on hand if you get a sudden dip in energy. Finally, pay attention to your breathing when you're exercising. You should breathe deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth. To improve your health, mental functioning, and general quality of life, you should aim to work up to at least 30 minutes of physical activity per day. Especially if you have been relatively inactive. Around 3 times per week, aim to exercise aerobically for the full 30 minutes. At other times, that 30 minutes can be spread out throughout the day and include simple activities such as climbing stairs or doing housework. Any activity counts as long as it adds up to at least 30 minutes a day most days of the week. If you don't think you are getting your 30 minutes, find other ways to achieve it. Walk to the store more often, get off the bus 1 or 2 stops earlier, take the stairs instead of the elevator, carry your groceries home, and wash your car by hand. Picking up the pace. If you are already getting 30 minutes of exercise a day, you may want to pick up the pace a little and extend your aerobic exercise sessions to pump more oxygen to your ever-hungry brain. Aerobic exercise is an moderate exercise that can be sustained for at least 30 minutes, increases your heart and breathing rate, and leaves you slightly sweaty. Ideally, you should exercise for 20 to 60 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week. But if it's all new to you, start with 10 minutes 3 times a week and build from there. A good exercise prescription that you can repeat daily, every other day or 3 times a week starts with 5 to 10 minutes of gentle warm-up exercises to increase your heart rate gently. This is followed by moderate paced aerobic exercise that elevates your heart rate for 20 to 30 minutes. You should feel slightly out of breath, but not so much that you can't carry on a conversation. A 5-minute cool-down period of gentle exercises like the warm-up should follow your aerobic exercise. Brisk walking is an ideal form of aerobic exercise, but you may prefer jogging, cycling, an exercise class, or swimming. Whatever you decide, make sure you enjoy it. It doesn't have to be traditional exercise or class. If dancing, hiking, horseback riding, or boxing are things you enjoy, make them part of your exercise routine. In addition to your aerobic exercise, it is a good idea to do some gentle stretching every day and include weight-bearing activities 2 or 3 times a week. The fitness instructor at your local gym or sports center can advise you on a suitable exercise program, or you could get hold of a good exercise instruction manual, video, or DVD. You might also ask a partner or friend to exercise with you. You can motivate each other, and it's tougher to break a commitment to exercise if you are with someone else. Or why not persuade friends, neighbors, and family members to get the exercise bug as well and form your own Keep Fit class. Working together makes exercising more fun, and you can all motivate each other. The brain-enhancing benefits of exercise: improves muscles coordination, boosts the flow of oxygen, glucose, and other nutrients to the brain, releases endorphins, feel-good chemicals into the bloodstream, the runner's high, and combats anxiety, stress, and depression. Exercising to music stimulates the mind at the same time. Strengthen your motivation. You may find it hard to motivate yourself to exercise on a daily or regular basis, but consider that just 15 to 30 minutes of walking a day can keep you healthy, slim, and happy, and significantly boost your brain power. Physical and mental exercise go hand in hand, so pick an activity you enjoy and have fun getting physical. If you start a regular exercise program that you enjoy, your body and your brain will thank you. Aerobic exercise improves your mood, boosts the flow of nutrients, and prevents stroke, and there have been studies to show that the brain works more efficiently when exercising, so it is a good time for learning something new. Take up racket sports or even skipping rope to improve hand-eye coordination. Use your exercise time to expand your mind. For example, listen to a personal stereo to learn a language or an audiobook, or music you wouldn't normally choose, such as classical, folk, or jazz. When using an exercise bicycle or treadmill, take something to read or study as you work out. Find an activity that can exercise your mind as well as your body, such as visiting local history sites, bird watching, amateur archaeology, and so on. Step number 6. Pay attention, please. You can be clever, creative, and well informed, but none of this matters if your mind isn't focused on the task at hand. If you find it hard to concentrate and your thoughts are scattered, it can affect your brain power. Concentration is absolutely crucial for intelligence because if you can't focus, you can't learn. Fortunately, there are easy ways to improve your concentration. First, know your enemy. Once you have identified obvious distractions such as noise and interruptions, try to cut down on them. It's a good idea to avoid working near potential diversions such as the humming noise of a fridge. Second, take regular breaks. It is important to take a break before you feel tired and lose your concentration completely. Regular breaks, at least once an hour, if not more often, help to sustain your concentration. Alternatively, you can try working for shorter periods of time, such as 20 minutes, and have more frequent but shorter breaks. Third, oxygenate. Avoid sitting or standing still for long periods. When you take a break, try walking around and doing some light stretching for a few minutes. Take some deep breaths to improve the flow of oxygen to your brain. This will also help to release tension in your body and so ease physical and mental stress. Fourth, rest your eyes. If you have been working at a computer or reading a document or book, relax your eyes by looking out of the window and focusing on something in the distance. Fifth, manage your stress levels. Aggravating problems and disputes at home or at work can increase stress and have a damaging effect on your brain, especially its ability to concentrate, remember, and learn. The following techniques can help. Stress management techniques. Deal with everyday stress such as sitting in heavy traffic, deadlines at work, or screaming kids with simple relaxation techniques, tensing your muscles and relaxing them, or deep breathing to a count of 10. Other techniques for relieving short-term stress include talking with friends, drinking calming herbal teas such as chamomile, having a good laugh, writing in a journal, listening to relaxing music, and having a long soak in a warm bath. Sometimes it also helps to shout and scream or punch a cushion to release tension. Exercise is also a great way to reduce stress and boost your energy. Eating well and taking a daily multivitamin and mineral is a stress buster too. Massage can help lower blood pressure, improve breathing, boost mood and well-being, and aid circulation. Meditation is a great stress reducer. It can boost your powers of concentration, help prevent high blood pressure, and improve general health. See page 15 for a great meditation technique, or there are many others you can try. You might also consider enrolling in a yoga class where you can learn meditation along with breathing techniques and special body postures that can ease tension and reduce stress. Don't waste energy trying to change what you can't alter. Try to identify those situations that trigger stress, and if you can't avoid them, find ways to accept and manage them. Talk about it. Simply talking to friends, family, and partners can ease stress. Studies have shown that loving relationships and support networks all help keep stress at bay, which is good news for your brain. Give yourself a break. Recognize the signs of negative stress, such as irritability, lack of concentration, mood swings, fatigue, and digestive problems, and always set aside time to relax every day. Try to adopt a positive view of life. Negative emotions such as anxiety, jealousy, and anger all trigger the stress response. Concentration is one of the utmost value when it comes to learning something new. Try not to become discouraged if you are unable to hold your thoughts on a subject for very long at first. If you practice the techniques in this chapter, your attention span will improve. Step number 7, use it or lose it. There is no doubt that genes, health, and education have a lot to do with determining intelligence, but so does continued mental exercise. Chronological age is not an excuse for mental decline. Your brain is dynamically changing and growing throughout your life and is capable of learning at any time. Mental exercise generates growth in your brain cells. In other words, the more you think, the better your brain works, regardless of your age. Top mind-saving tips. Practice your powers of observation. There are many things in our everyday life that we don't really register or cannot recall. For example, can you remember whose picture is on a $5 or $20 bill, or the exact traffic light sequence? To exercise your powers of observation, get into the habit of using them and observe the little details in your daily life. Experiment with fragrances. Certain aromas such as peppermint, lemon, vanilla, and lily of the valley are known to have a stimulating effect on the mind and can improve your attention span as well as enhance memory. Keep a diary. By recalling what has happened during the day, you are helping to exercise your memory. It's also a great emotional release. Writing letters, stories, poetry, or your family history can also help to strengthen memory links. Learn a new language. Most towns have a college or evening class where you can learn a new language, or you can buy audio tapes and CDs and learn at your own pace. A new language will also enhance your verbal skills and broaden your mind by introducing you to a new culture. Expand your vocabulary. Adding new words to your vocabulary is a fantastic brain building exercise. You will enhance your memory, speech, and writing centers and benefit your cognitive abilities. Set yourself a program of learning a new word every day and try to incorporate those new words into everyday speech and writing. Limit TV time and read instead. Some television programs are both entertaining and informative, but much of it is just mental wallpaper that puts your brain into neutral. In fact, studies show that your brain is more active when staring at a blank wall than watching television. Reading not only stimulates your imagination, it also strengthens the language areas and engages both sides of your brain at the same time. For maximum benefit, pause from time to time to think back over and what you have read. This will help to fix it in your memory. Explore the World Wide Web. The internet is a fantastic information resource, giving you access to a world of information, and by following the screen directions and manipulating the mouse, you are boosting your reaction times and enhancing hand-eye coordination at the same time. Play games. All games involve challenge, interest, and fun. Bridge and chess are excellent because they require memory and judgment. Crossword puzzles and jigsaws are also great for word recall and spatial judgments. Working with modeling clay or Play-Doh helps develop improved spatial awareness and imagination, as well as mental agility and hand-eye coordination. Use the other hand. This is another version of the exercise you met in part 1 that can help strengthen existing neural connections and create new ones. Use the hand you normally do not use to write. Control the computer mouse or turn the page. What do you notice? Is it harder to be precise and accurate? Do you feel the way you did when you were first learning to tie your shoelaces? If you are feeling uncomfortable and awkward, don't worry. This is a good sign. It shows your brain is learning new skills. Learn a new skill. Challenge your brain with new and novel tasks. Here are some suggestions, but you will have many others. Always choose something that appeals to you. Square dancing, chess, tai chi, yoga, sculpture, lace making. Learning or doing something new enhances your skills and knowledge and gives you a feeling of mastery and self-confidence to continue to build your brain power. Break old habits. Changing routines and habits or replacing them with something new increases mental alertness. For example, go to work via a new route, try shopping at a new grocery store, drink from a different mug at a coffee time. Sit at a different place at the table, regard your brain as a muscle, and look for new opportunities to flex it. Anything that stimulates your brain to think in a new way is ideal. Reprogram your mind. If you always put yourself down by thinking that, for example, you're too stupid to learn new information or skills, it won't be long before you become reluctant to try anything new. Starting today, stop and reflect whenever you are about to say something negative about yourself and replace it with something positive. For example, swap "I'm stupid" with "I'm learning something new." Replace "I'm always making mistakes" with "I'm learning from my mistakes." Switch from "I can't understand that" to "I will soon learn." No matter how unsure you feel right now, start adopting a more positive attitude and you will soon begin to believe it. Reprogram your mind with positive thoughts and you will feel happier and smarter. Time to wake up your mind. If you want to improve your mind, you need to keep using it. Keep thinking and working that mental muscle with enjoyable and challenging tasks. The exercises in this book are all designed to flex your mental muscles, stretch your mind, and keep your brain alive. What you do with your brain, how much you challenge and push it to achieve its full potential, well, that's up to you. Just remember one thing, with a brain as flexible as yours, the possibilities are limitless.